What's up, peeps? It's me, your boy MC. Welcome back. I did it again. Welcome back to Lego Therapy. Lego lights on. We are live-ish in the Lego Lounge. We are back to review the Nightmare Before Christmas set. It is set number. I got the box. Oh, it's on the other side this time. 21351, 2,193 pieces. Peeps. This was so good. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to do a spuppler on this one just because I'm going to go through the categories, but I'm not going to really grade them. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts just because it's been out for a while. So I'm sure you guys already have your thoughts about it, but I'm just going to give my thoughts. I pre-recorded my close-ups, so I'll just splice that in at the right time. But, man, I love this whole set. So, first of all, I'm not going to do a, hey, this is what the set looked like versus this is what what Lego produced. I got what Lego produced, so I can't go back in time and make Lego make the original set the way it was. I will throw in some pictures to show off, the side by side of the two versions, but ultimately this is what Lego chose to make. So I'm just gonna rate what I got. Would it have been better? Maybe. I don't know what the building techniques are. I will say, for example, the spiral hill in the original set, it definitely was a little bit larger. But what Lego ultimately produced is a lot cleaner. There's a lot more tiles and smooth pieces in here to make it really smooth and clean looking, whereas the original had a ton of studs showing, right? So, you give and take, right? Anyways, let's just jump into it. The appearance, the visual design, I mean, it's spot on. Now, again, is it movie accurate? Is it perfectly dead on? No, it is not. But I never expected that we were going to get a one-for-one replica from the movie. And in fact, I'm just happy that I have this set at all. Is Lego ever going to produce another Nightmare Before Christmas set? I don't know. This may be the only one. I will tell you, boy, if they ever make an upscaled Jack Skellington, MC will be in line for that one. Peeps, I forgot the dad joke of the day. How much do pirates charge for corn on the cob? Buccaneer. Burp, burp. It's pretty good. All right. So anyways, I love it all. The spiral hill, again, not as big as the movie. The house is not as big as the movie. The town hall, probably not as big as the movie, but it's a cartoon. You can only get so accurate when you put it into actual physical bricks, right? So for what I have, not for what it could have been, not for what it should have been, none of that. For what I have, I think this whole set looks fantastic. There's so many cool things going on in here. There's so many little Easter eggs. The roofs I love the way they built these roofs to just come on and off. They're not clicking in. There's no weird hinges or anything. It just sits on there. You got these little church benches, like I like to call them. And then they've got some bricks underneath, and they just sit neatly on the church benches or church pews, whatever you want to call them. Same with this set. This whole thing comes off. You got the little hidden crypt underneath. You got the little workshops in the back. Even the spiral hill has a little hidden thing where with a little skeleton heads all over this. I mean, there's so much detail in here. So many the pumpkins, the flowers, the dead plants, the little reindeers, the clock on the wall, the banner, the fountain looks so cool. I love the fountain, all the little green studs in there, and the dragon or whatever that is that's coming out of the fountain. And Santa Claus, the little brick built bathtub. I can't say enough. I mean, even the little doghouse for Zero here and the headstones. Supposedly, I don't see it, but supposedly there's 1993 hidden somewhere in one of these headstones, but I can't find it. So I think that might have been fake news. But man, I really love all of the different ways they got the tiles, not tiles, but the little mini mountains and such on the roof to give it this real jagged look. Even the building, the way they've got this wacky, like nothing is straight. And that was the other thing about the stickers. So there were, what, 13, 16 stickers, something like 13 stickers. But honestly, I'm not going to say I like it. I would always prefer printed pieces. They just look better, period. But because everything in this movie is so kind of wacky, you don't have to get them perfectly straight, to be truthful. So it's not as huge a deal. So what does MC think? I think it looks amazing. Could they have done some things better? Sure. But overall, it's top notch for me. I love it. There's not much I could say, again, given what I got, not much I could say about it negative. Again, yes, there's definitely things that probably could have been done better, but given the price, and I think it was $200 originally, and that's 2,135 pieces, 2,351 pieces. No, jeez, I'm reading the set number, 2,193 pieces. So it's under 10 cents a piece. And given that it's a licensed set and such a popular movie and all that, I think that was a pretty good, they had a good compromise. It looks great, but it's not over the top to the point that you can't afford it. So, I guess I'll give it a score. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Looks really good. Again, there's minor things that could have been improved, but overall, now I'm gonna say 9.5. It's so close to being perfect. I really love it. All right, minifigs are again, you'll see them in the close-up, but you got your Lock, Shock, and Barrel. You got your Santa Claus. You got Sally. You got Jack. You got the Mayor. And I know he's technically not a minifig, but you got Zero. All phenomenal, right? They all look good. And I even went back, like I said in the previous video, and I had to look up, Lock and Shock here. And I was like, man, they didn't put anything on them. They're just kind of plain. Well, they were plain in the movie. That's just what they wore. They wore a basic shirt, basic clothes. There was nothing. The only thing about Lock that is kind of missing is he did have a little tail in the movie, so maybe they could have printed a tail just like hanging up the back of him. I don't know. That's a little bit of a meh. The other thing I will say about Lock, Shock, and Barrel that I would have preferred to see is masks. They all had the masks, so they didn't have to necessarily be able to stick to their face, but they could have put a little mask in their hand, right? Like typically minifigs have some sort of accessory. So they could have just given them their little mask, put it in their hand, and that would have been awesome. Does it break the deal? No. I love the Mayor, the way they got that big cone-shaped body. They printed it on there. His arms are kind of like these goofy little robot arms, but he looks wacky in the movie. I wasn't quite sure about what was in his hand, this little white thing. I had to look it up. It's the Christmas plans that they wrote, but I love the way they got his hat. It's got that super tall steeple on it. He's got his megaphone. Jack, he's dead on. The only thing that's missing about him is his coattails could have been a bit longer, but again, I think that piece is just something that is just a generic piece. Sally's dead on. Now, talking about the minifigs, I know the big thing that bugged a lot of people, and I just recorded the other day I don't know if it'll be out before or after this. Probably before this. I recorded a whole rant about minifigs. Look, I think they're great. I think they're fun. But this is the set. These are just bonus. These are just bonus. Okay? That's how I feel. That being said, Oogie Boogie not being in this set is that's kind of weird. Given what you got, right? It's kind of weird that Oogie Boogie's not in here. You could almost have put her dad in there. You could have put, there's so many characters in the movie. So it's hard to really sit here again, because as we know, more minifigs you get, the higher the price goes. So, you could have put the little witches in here. You could have put any of the people from Halloween Town. You could have put any of the kids from the movie that get terrified by the toys. There's a massive cast in this movie. I think when I Googled it, there's at least 38 major characters in the movie. So, could we have gotten more characters? Yeah. Could we have gotten a brick built Oogie Boogie and saved the whole minifig concept? Yeah. In fact, I think somebody actually made one and posted directions online. So I'll probably look for that, and I'll probably try to build it myself and add it in here, because Oogie Boogie is kind of a cool character. So him missing from the set, again, if you're bugging about characters that are not here, that one is kind of a big omission. For me, not the end of the world. Again, I think somebody just went and designed an Oogie Boogie, so I might go ahead and grab him and build it and throw him in here at some point. But for me, I'm okay with what I got. But I understand the complaints that he was not in the set. That being said, I think they all look really good. The printing is really good on all of them. Again, the mayor is just wild. He's so close to the movie, so it's pretty awesome. So if I gotta grade him, I'll give it an 8.5, because Oogie Boogie is kind of a big omission. I do think we could have just done a brick built Oogie Boogie. It may have been, I don't know, an extra 10 pieces or something. I don't know. I'd have to go look and see what that one is that somebody designed, but I think that one would have been a pretty easy one to solve and would have shut a lot of people up. But then they would have found another character to complain about, so who knows. Anyways, off of minifigs. What else is on the list? We got appearance, we got minifigs. I always forget to pull this up. Oh yeah, so build experience was great. I can't think of one problem I had while building this. Now, the one thing I mentioned, I think when I did my close-up, maybe it was on the last video, I don't know, everything starts running together. There are several pieces in this set that are only hanging on by one stud. That always kind of bugs me. That's just kind of a personal preference thing. I wish everything had at least 2 studs, unless it's something round. Like these pumpkins are only held on by 1 stud, but it's a round piece, so it's not going to pop off easily. But some things are just, you just barely, like, nothing I can think of, really. These trees I've knocked off a couple times, but that was kind of mostly my big ogre hands. And then that's the other thing, is some of this stuff is only held on by 1 stud for our next category, playability and functions. So you can take stuff out and play with it. So it kind of makes sense. But overall, build experience was great. It flew by. I mean, I felt like it was only a couple hours. It was definitely a lot more, but the whole process went really quick. Oh, going back one step to minifigs. I do think they could have spread out the minifigs a little better throughout the bags. They kind of front-loaded them, but just talking about putting things together, building it, I thought it was phenomenal. It's not one thing that sticks out and I'm like, oh man, that was rough, that was boring. You know, a couple sections would get repetitious, right? Like building the roof. You know, I put in a whole bunch of 1x2 mini mountains. Okay. Once I was done with the roof, I didn't do that again. So it wasn't repetitious as a set, just like a section might get a little repetitious, but nothing like, I mean, the Harry Potter train tracks for the Hogwarts Express will always be my standard, at least to date, for something that is crazy repetitious. That was just over and over and over. So nothing really repetitious, nothing too challenging. 18 plus, I stick by my guns. This is what they're marketing towards, not how difficult it is. It was not that difficult. It was challenging enough to be fun, but not so challenging that I wanted to rip my gray beard out. So, 10. It gets a 10 for build experience. I loved it. And this was a great follow-up to my last build. Now, in terms of order of when these videos come out, it's not going to be the last video that was released. But if you think back about a month ago or so, you'll remember a set that I did a review on that was the bane of my existence. So we'll just leave it at that. All right, playability and functions. So there's no real functions to speak of, so to speak, but the roofs do come off and there's all kinds of little things you can pull out, like the wreaths pop out. You can attach them just about anywhere in the city. The different sections of Jack's house do come off, so you can get in there and play around. Same thing with the mayor's, with the town hall. All these little things are basically just stuck on with a single stud, so you can pop them out. You can have your little scenes. In fact, on the back of the box, they show various ideas for playing with the set. Again, this whole building comes off. There's a little crypt underneath with the hidden skeleton and the frog's breath soup and all that stuff. Zero comes off, and I'm telling you, almost everything on this set is just kind of stuck on here with one or two studs, and you can just pop it off and play with it. You got your little bathtub that's kidnapping Santa Claus. The one thing, I've said this before, or recently, I should say, I'm kind of jumping on team no loose pieces. So there are a couple loose pieces up in Jack's loft, and then the big egregious one is the fountain. Now, I get why they did it the way they did it, but all these studs are just kind of like, there's a bunch of studs that are stuck to the plate underneath, but then there's a bunch of loose studs. And it's meant to look like it's bubbling. I get it. It's frustrating when you start moving stuff around and they just keep falling out. So on that, that's a little bit annoying. But I realize that that's probably never going away. But overall, I think this is a very playable set. You got, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minifigs. You can tell all the different stories from the movie, make up your own stories. Like I said, all this stuff pops off. The little podium in here that Jack gives his speech on to the town people. It's got 2 little jumper plates, so he can stand on the podium and talk to the people. As you saw, barely tried, and that just popped right out. It is what a, Butterfingers. It's a very playable set, in my opinion. Again, this one is just stuck on with a jumper plate, so it just comes right out super easily. So much fun, so creative. I love it. Is it the most playable set of all time? Nah, not the most playable set, but again, you're limited by the story, and most of the movie takes place right here. So it is what it is. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. It's a pretty darn good looking set. Last area is value. As I said, it was a $200 set originally. Pretty sure it still is. I'll Google it and say yes or no somewhere up on the screen. So under 10 cents a piece for sure. And man, like I said, I don't believe they've ever done a Nightmare Before Christmas set. Who knows if we'll ever get another. This is obviously the Ideas program, so it wasn't like Lego went out and said, let's make this set. It was somebody's idea that got submitted, it got accepted, and it came out phenomenal. I'm so happy with it. I would, I'm always wanting to pay less, but would I pay this again? Again, for sure. For sure, I would buy this again. I would definitely build this again. Like, the whole experience was great. And so little to complain about. And the stuff that I do have notes on is so minor. I love what they gave us. Always room for improvements, right? There's always room for improvements. I don't think anybody is ever going to find a set that they can say perfect 50 on everything. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, that's subjective. So for me, I got what I paid for. I love what I see. I love what I get. And I'm only going to take a half a point off just because of all the other little factors that we've already kind of discussed. All minor stuff. 9.5. I think it's a fantastic set. What's the total score? I don't know. I'll throw it up on the screen. Or I don't know what side I'll stick it on. But see, I keep playing with this roof. I love the way they designed this roof. This is such a neat design. I love the fact that the teeth of the roof kind of interlock like that. It's so neat. All right, peeps. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna splice the close-ups in right here. All right, peeps. Here we go. We're gonna start off our close-up with our minifigs. So from left to right, we got Lock, Shock, and Barrel. As you can see, Lock and Shock do not have any printing on their anywhere really other than their face, but I had to Google it just to confirm they don't have anything on them. So they just have very plain clothes. Barrel obviously has the little skeleton printing. Nothing on the back. Sandy Claus, he's got his big Sandy Claus dress, if you will. He does have a little lollipop stuck to his back, and if I were to take his head and beard and everything off, there is some candy corn stuck underneath. Got the mayor, who is not a minifig, but is a minifig. You kind of build him, but man, he looks great. I mean, printing on both sides. He's got a little megaphone in one hand. He's got the directions, the instructions, whatever, plans for Christmas. And the other, his hat looks so good. They built it up real tall, just like the movie. And he does, in fact, have a dual-sided face. Looks awesome. Oh my gosh, Sally. She looks great. She's got printing all over her face. She does have a dual-sided face. I showed that in the other video, but printing on the back, side, everywhere, little arm printing, looks awesome. Jack, obviously, freaking got the long legs. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. They got the short legs because they're kids. Jack's got the long legs. His printing looks fantastic all the way down. He does have he doesn't have a dual-sided face, but he's got his little bow tie, you can see. And then on the back, got a little printing, and he does have his coattails. I will say in the movie, the coattails are quite a bit longer, but you know, what are you gonna do? These are just generic pieces that Lego uses over and over. But man, he looks great. And then Zero, look at him. He is just a single piece. I know he's not technically minifig, but I'm counting him. He's even got the little pumpkin nose. He's got a little stud hole in the bottom so you can stick him on anywhere.
He's a custom piece for sure. He looks fantastic. That is all the minifigs. We'll turn them around just so you can see. Oh, the mayor's freaking out. Oh. Man, great line of minifigs right there. All right, continuing on. I just broke it up into the 3 sections to make it a little easier. We've got the town hall right out front. You got the little statue. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. Little dragon or something. The fountain is here with all the whatever this is, poison or whatever. It's Halloween Town. It does have a bunch of loose studs in here, but a bunch of them are attached. A lot of little just decorations all over this set. Little cobblestones and such, just things stuck in there. Dead plants. You got the skull. There's a lot of skulls in this. Dead tree looks great. Right up front, you can see you got your spiderweb clock. Doesn't actually have any numbers on it. Days to Christmas. That is stickers. Sticker. This is a piece of cloth. This is fantastic. I really like the way they put the banner on there. The shape of the house is so great. The bone hanging up there on the front. The door does open up. And we move around. Go around to the back. Probably gonna have to turn my light on here. Bam, there we go. There's the inside. Almost all of the buildings have a little something underneath, but you got the inside of the town hall. Got some cool little candle sconces on there. I love the way they did the door to look like an old wood door. You got the little podium. It pops out just on a single stud, so Jack can make his plea to the people in the town. Some little benches there. Then if we come up top, the roofs just sit on there. They don't actually clip in. You got up here all the stuff they're making to get prepared for Christmas. You got your little gifts, your wreaths, your stocking. Boy, words are difficult. I don't quite recall what this thing is. I think, this might be the little Jack in the Box where the head pops out. You got another skeleton gift in here. There's so many little skeletons in this build. It's so funny. And then we'll throw the roof back on. This whole thing comes off. I'm sorry about the angle, guys. I'm just terrible doing things one-handed. I'm gonna pause real quick and I'm gonna take the top of the building off so you can see what's underneath. All right, so there you go. As you can see, it's just held on by a couple studs. Comes off very easily. Got another wreath, another spider. You got some stuff that they're mixing up, little Easter eggs. I can't see if I can get a good angle on it. You got the little frog's breath over there. Little skeleton holding a spoon. Just so many fun little hidden things in this set. Little pumpkins. There's pumpkins all over this set. More dead plants. So much fun with this set. And those are obviously the pillars that sit in front of the building. All right, we're back, and now we're on to the next building. We got Jack's house. So we'll come right in here. Again, lots of just details all over the ground, giving you that just real authentic feel. I love these walls, the techniques they use to build this with all the little door hinges, and then it just curls around, and it only clips in 2 spots. The rest of it is not attached. It's attached in 2 spots. But it's very sturdy. Got another pumpkin. Look at these gates. I love these gates. I don't know what they did different to make them look all textured. You see how it looks like an actual wrought iron gate? The little deer statues. I didn't even realize what they were at first. At least I think that's what they were. I could be wrong. More pumpkins. Coming up to the front. These stairs are phenomenal. I really like the design they did on the stairs. You got the little eyeball on his door, and that is a sticker, unfortunately, but the whole front of the house, I love those yellow windows. You got the wood that's not, everything's kind of odd shaped in this set. Nothing is straight, everything's kind of crooked, which kind of makes the stickers thing not so bad because nothing has to really be perfect. All right, look at that. Look at that roof, that chimney where it's all crooked, where they alternated back and forth with these little hinge pieces. They just did them back and forth, and then they gave that super weird crooked look. Coming in at the back, you got Jack's little workshop here. All kinds of stuff going on. You got Sally's painting of Jack in the Santa suit. You got like a stack of books back there, stack of papers or cloth maybe. I'm not even 100% sure. A random fish in a box. More decorations. More Christmas plans. All Jack's little chalkboard. I love that little piece that they used to be the chalk. Bottles in the back. Coming down to the first floor. There's not much in this room, just a little Christmas tree. But that's another cool, almost all of the buildings have the little side openings. So there's a little Christmas tree with a little bag for the presents. I love the way all these sides open up so you can get in there and look at things. Same thing on the other floors as well. That one opens up as well. Not really sure what the magnifying glass is about. I don't remember that from the movie, but definitely a cool addition. Again, here the roofs just sit on there, and it's kind of neat the way these sit. The roof thatchings kind of interlace. You see that? Oh man, so neat. All right, we'll just pull this roof off real quick, and then you can see in his attic section he's got more stuff going on. More spiders, more pumpkins, more wreaths, more presents, another skull. And again, all of these sections do pop off pretty easily, but there's nothing really hidden underneath in this one, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm not going to disassemble it, but you can see everything. Like I said, these do open up. Let me see if I can get a finger in there. Boom. I love that. That is such a cool concept. Possibly has been done in other sets, but I've never built one with it, or at least I don't recall building one with it. But man, this is very simple. You can just slide your finger in there and pop it open. Very, very awesome. Super huge fan of this building. All right, last but not least, we got the curly hill here. All kinds of little goodies. Man, I love these pumpkins. They even had you put a little clear yellow piece inside to make it look like it's lit up. Would have been really cool if it was lit up, but the fact that they have these carved face pumpkins, not sure if those are new for this set, but man, they look awesome. Again, lots of little ground detailing. You got Zero's house here. You got a gravestone. All the little pieces that Sally uses to make the poison for for her soup. You got witch hazel. You got some deadly nightshade back there, and then you got some henbane. I love it. Very, very neat. The techniques that they use to make this curly hill were so fantastic. The only thing that's a little concerning is this little. Everything else is pretty locked in. This little curl is only held by like one stud, but as long as you don't play with it, shouldn't be a big deal. But man, this all looks really, really, really cool. Then you go around to the back, and again, you do have a couple little Easter eggs. You got another little skull, another little pumpkin, another little spider. Those are all over this set. So yeah, there it is. There is the curly hill. Boom, and just one last look at the whole set all together. I didn't show off this tub. I forgot to show it off. Look at those little feet. Again, I don't know if this is a new piece that was made for this set or if it existed already, but I love it. The idea of this, the bathtub that comes to life and kidnaps Sandy Claus, and you got a lock, shock, and barrel there, all being evil and doing the bidding of Jack, but also the bidding of Oogie Boogie. But man, look at this whole thing. Looks super awesome. As you can see, everybody's doing their thing. All the way up, all the way down, and back up. Bam.
All right, and there it is. You got the close-up. It looks great, right? I don't know what else to say. I love this set. If you haven't picked it up already, I suggest you do. If you're into it. All right, don't go out and buy a $200 set just because MC said so. But if you're into Nightmare Before Christmas, if you're into Halloween, if you're into Christmas, if you're into Thanksgiving, I say this is the most universal movie ever. I love it. It hits all the holidays. You can hit Easter. You can hit all the holidays because he invaded all the holiday areas. So huge fan. I love the set. I can't wait to go put it on display, show it off to my family, show it off to anybody that comes and visits. So fantastic. I love that you can lock them all together like it is, or you can disconnect them and put them in different areas. What an amazing set. What more can I say, peeps? Boop, boop. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please do all the things. I think I forgot to say that on my last video. Yeah, it's all good. I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, keep it scary. Holla!